This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
I'm going to say it's going to be more cute than scary on this Halloween edition of the newscast. We'll take you to some local Halloween parades next. Happy Halloween, everyone, and thank you for orbiting. I'm the Planet Earth. You can watch SSPTV News from anywhere on me with the Samsung Productions app, and you can get planet masks on the NASA website. I should have asked an adult like Lisa Sugar to cut it out for me, though I made a mess. I'm actually Ken Kara, and these are your headlines from SSPTV News and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. It's Halloween night, and that means kids of all ages will be out and about in many communities. It's also a time for both trick-or-treaters and the public to be alert. James May, Regional Press Officer from PennDOT, stopped by our studios today with some startling statistics and important advice for a safe Halloween.
Well, first of all, to understand the dangers that are associated with this, and we're not just talking the scary dangers that come with Halloween, this is the one night that there will be twice as many children hit by a car or killed by a car than any other night of the year. And the reason for that is because you've got children many times dressed up in different outfits where they can't see what's taking place, many times in dark outfits walking alongside the road. And so as drivers, we have a responsibility to really, we always talk about this, but really slow down, pay attention, and keep in mind that it's our responsibility. We can't expect a child to understand the importance of what they can and cannot do alongside the road. So we have a responsibility, and parents, make sure you put your children in clothing that can be seen, have some sort of reflective vest with them, walk with them, carry a flashlight. If at all possible, face paint is always better than a mask because it allows them to see better. So make sure you think these things through before you head out.
Many communities are celebrating Halloween this evening, so stay alert for children going door to door. And speaking of Halloween, there was plenty of Halloween fun earlier today at the West Hazleton Elementary Middle School in West Hazleton. We stopped by this morning as the little ones were showing off their costumes to family and friends in the school's auditorium. Jocelyn Pozlesny is the school's principal.
This morning, we had our kindergarten, first and second grade students who were dressed in costume to come through our auditorium, so all of our parents were invited in to see their children in their costumes. I love to see how parents come out and support their children. It's always so exciting to see when a student can see their parent out in or their guardian or their grandparents, you know, anybody that they can wave to and say hello to. And we're so excited to have people see our school.
And the fun continued throughout the day with fun activities in the classroom. Another school in our area that was celebrating the day was Holy Family Academy in Hazleton. We found superheroes, ghosts, goblins, and an array of creative costumes, including a group of M&M candies and even some dinosaurs enjoying the festivities. The celebration in the school's gymnasium included the entire school, grades pre-K through 8th grade. Our Sam Lassant Jr. talked with school principal Don Basic, who is also enjoying the day.
Today we're in the middle of our Halloween festivities here at Holy Family Academy. We have our pre-K to 8th grade kids here in the gym having a great time, dancing to some music and having some snacks.
Why is it such a good thing for the school to have parties like this and just have fun a little bit?
It actually builds the camaraderie between our pre-K to 8th grade kids. The 8th graders come in and act somewhat like chaperones and sometimes like parents for our pre-K and kindergarten kids, but it also gives them a chance just to let their hair down, have a little bit of time to relax.
It was a fun time at Holy Family Academy. And last but certainly not least, our travels took us to Drums Elementary Middle School. Students of all ages processed before a nice crowd of family and friends on the school grounds. Our camera guy caught an array of great costumes, everything from superheroes to witches. Some costumes were spooky, some were funny, and some were very pretty. There were many creative costumes. Such great costumes are sure to get a ton of candy at trick-or-treating tonight. In other news, an investigation is underway into a fire yesterday morning in West Monoy Township. The blaze severely damaged a double-block home at 189-191 Ohio Avenue. One side of the home was believed to be vacant and the other side recently renovated. State Police fire marshals were on the scene yesterday, sifting through the debris in an attempt to find a cause. The State Senate Environmental Resources and Energy Committee held a public hearing yesterday in Pittston. State Senator John Udechak, minority chair of the committee, hosted the hearing, which focused on the risk of lead poisoning. Testimony indicated that poverty levels and older housing have created a perfect storm for childhood lead poisoning. Yesterday's testimony offered a regional perspective on lead policy in northeastern Pennsylvania, as well as an overview of services that state agencies currently provide to address lead exposure. The senator introduced the resolution that created the task force earlier this week. 1 week from today, voters will head to the polls, and one of the hottest races on the general election ballot will be that of Hazleton City Council. 6 candidates are vying for 3 open seats on council. The 3 Democrats in the race are political newcomer Tony Colombo and incumbent council members Jack Mundy and Dr. David Sosar. On the Republican ticket, it's political newcomer Allison Barletta and former councilman John Keegan and Jim Perry. The 3rd seat up for grabs is currently held by Councilwoman Grace Kuzo, who chose not to run for re-election. The 2 other members of council whose seats are not up for re-election this year are Gene Mope and Joe Gavio. And once again, SSPTV News will bring you the area's most comprehensive election night coverage. Next Tuesday night, join the area's most experienced election team for election results on races that are important to you. SSPTV's election night coverage begins next Tuesday, November 7th at 8 p.m. Remember, you can watch us live on Service Electric Channel 13 and our HD channel 513, or from anywhere at ssptv.com. One animal shelter in our area is offering an adoption special for veterans. The special offer will be available starting tomorrow, November 1st, at the Carbon County Animal Shelter in Nesquehoning. Shelter Director Tom Connor says the month-long special was recently approved by the Carbon County Commissioners.
They announced that for the month of November, veterans will pay half price the adoption fee. So for $50, they can go home with a great dog. And having a son that's a veteran, dad that was a veteran, I think it's pretty special, and I thank the commissioners for doing that. They're the ones that make the decisions and make things happen down here, so we have a good partnership and we work well together, and I'm just grateful that they keep the facility open.
And for more information on this adoption special for veterans, contact the Carbon County Animal Shelter at 570-325-4828. Coming up, another local motorsports segment with Dino Alberto. We'll talk with another local champion from Greenwood Valley Action Track. And up next, we go outdoor exploring in the city with the Standard Speaker's Kent Jackson. This is SSPTV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information. And remember to watch us in HD on Service Electric Cablevision Channel 513.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
What do these 3 things have in common? An outdoor stage and sculpture next to the developing Arts Center at Broad and Laurel Streets, basketball and tennis courts at Altmiller Playground, and a trail from Hazleton to Eckley. Well, they're all part of parks that Hazleton residents showed to the State Secretary of Conservation and Natural Resources. When Secretary Cindy Adams Dunn visited Hazleton on October 28th, local leaders showed her how the city is using money received from her department. Krista Schneider explained that the Arts Center in the former Security Savings Bank and renovations to the adjacent bingo parlor, former Remember When store, and Chinese restaurant all tie into Center City Park. At the park, a new entrance to the Arts Center will open to a flat stage where perennial plants and perhaps a statue or a fountain will provide an outdoor space for exhibitions and performances. The Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress that Schneider leads raised $1.2 million from various sources for the project so far, and the organization seeks about the same amount again to complete the work. Dunn said that Governor Tom Wolf wants to focus on projects that pad our local economy, and said that safe parks attract business and they play a role in economic growth. At Altmiller Playground, Mayor Jeff Cassat pointed out overgrown, unused tennis and basketball courts. Dunn walked from the courts to the Mile Rocks, and then she climbed them. She also wondered what happened geologically to leave a rock outcrop at Altmiller Playground. I can't answer her question, but if any listeners can, I would enjoy hearing the explanation and reporting on it in a future segment. Contact me at 570-501-3587 or kjackson@standardspeaker.com.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
I forecast a lot of T-Rexes roaming around tonight. If you know what a group of T-Rexes are called, you can also tell Ken Jackson and maybe he'll tell me. So be on the lookout. Here's tonight's trick-or-treat forecast from the National Weather Service. It will be mostly clear with a low of 30 degrees. Now our 4-day outlook. Wednesday, a chance of showers mainly after 1 p.m. Mostly cloudy. We'll have a high of 43 degrees, 40% chance of showers. Wednesday night, rain is likely before 9 p.m. and then a chance of showers after 3 a.m. Cloudy with a low of 42. Thursday, 30% chance of showers before 2 p.m. Mostly cloudy, high of 62. At night, we'll get down to 53 degrees with a 20% chance of showers, mostly cloudy skies. Friday, partly sunny, high of 63. Friday night, playoff high school football, partly cloudy, low of 40 degrees. Saturday will be partly sunny, high in the lower 50s. And then at night, a 40% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, low of 41 degrees.
We're in the beautiful ballroom here at Edgewood. We're back with Samantha Perkowski. She is the certified wedding coordinator, and there's a lot happening here that's going to benefit you if you are getting married. So thanks for having us. I feel like we should be dancing here on the ballroom dance floor.
We are. We're here in the beautiful Bliss Ballroom. And yes, we just actually got back from Wedding Wire World, which was in Washington, D.C. this year. So we're so fortunate to work for a company that sends us to these great events because it really benefits our brides and grooms. We had learned so much while we were there, and thankfully we're able to bring that back and present those to our brides and grooms as well. So we actually sat in on a seminar that was really, really awesome. It actually gave us tips into what is trending for weddings for 2018.
Oh, well, I'm excited to hear about this. So every year, this is something that they have, and you go to it and you see what's going on. Kind of like fashion would be with the New York runway. This is for brides and what's new and coming. So listen up.
Absolutely. So one of the things that they did mention, they had actually taken a poll of all of their brides and grooms, and family-style dinners are what's becoming very, very popular for next year, which here at Edgewood, we do have our own family-style menu. So that's one of the things that we do offer here. It's great because it's still very formal, but your guests have a large amount of food that they get to choose from, and it's something that will keep replenishing to their table. So people love food, and they love to eat, so this is something that's becoming very, very popular for next year.
Now, is that something because it's weddings are larger or smaller, or did they say?
I think it's really just because people like a lot of food. People remember the food and the drinks and of course the dancing too. So it's a great way to kind of get the amount of food that you would for a buffet style, but it's still almost like a plated meal where we're serving you.
All right, well, let's talk about the color scheme. Did they mention that for 2018?
So they have not yet announced the colors for next year, the Pantone colors of the year, but usually most brides end up kind of going off of that. So that is still something very popular. Very boho chic items are becoming popular, so soft greens and pinks as well. And to tie into that, very natural ceremony sites. So when I heard that, I was very happy because we have our own ceremony site here at Edgewood, which is in a really beautiful natural setting. So you get the woods behind you, the trees around, greens and browns and so forth too. So if you're looking to kind of go along with that trend, that's the perfect ceremony site for you.
Edgewood's got it going on. It seems like you're ahead of the times on everything that you do. You have the cutting edge behind you with the experience with going to these conventions. Yes. Now, you did get a chance to meet someone who you might know at home, right?
Yes, so we had the chance to meet Monty Durham, and he is from Say Yes to the Dress, Atlanta. So I'm sure that you guys have seen that show if you're a bride and groom planning your own wedding, and he was wonderful, so funny, and he had a lot of great fashion tips for us too.
Well, I saw the photo, which you're seeing now, and I really think that you looked like the star more than him.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So if anyone is getting married for 2018, 19, 20, they should, I always say this, but now's the time to really get the date and make sure that it's open.
Yes, our dates book up so quickly, especially if you're looking for a Saturday. So if you do have that special date in mind, something that sounds perfect to you, give us a call so we can get it locked in soon.
All right, very good. Samantha, thanks for joining us here, and join us each and every week on SSPTV News.
Thanks, Janine. And here's your midday winning lottery numbers on this Halloween. Pick 2, 3, 1, pick 3, 5, 2, 6, pick 4, 4, 2, 7, 8, pick 5, 7, 9, 3, 8, 9. The wild number is 7. Another keeping track segment with local motorsport journalist Dino Alberto when we come back.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
Welcome back, everybody. Dino Alberto is always keeping track of the local racing scene, local motorsport journalist. Always a pleasure to have him here on the show. And so often you bring talented drivers with you, Dino. Recently we met Jaden Harmon. Today we're going to meet his dad, Jason Harmon, also a champion, 600cc micro sprint champion at Greenwood Valley. I have to read my notes that Dino provides me with. And I want to start talking about your son, then we'll come over here to Dino. Jaden, 8 years old now. He said he started at 3 years old. You started very young in this sport. Was that from when he was born, you were like, let's get him in a car as soon as possible? Or?
Yeah, I mean, my whole family's been racing for a while. I started go-karts actually at Greenwood Valley when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, around that time. Ran karts up until about 15-ish, and then my dad and another gentleman, a couple other guys owned cars that ran at Evergreen Speedway back in the day. Worked on those cars as a crew member. Shortly out of college, I started driving down there in street stocks up to modifieds. Then we ended up getting out of racing for a little while, a couple of years, then got back into go-karts and stuff. But yeah, when Jaden was born, we, ever since he was a little guy, he was always fooling around on the battery cars and stuff. And about 3 years old, they started a kid kart class, which is a little smaller go-kart that runs off a weed whacker motor, for lack of a better engine. And he ran that for 2 years, and then bumped every year. We've been bumping him up into a new class, and every year he's been shining.
Now, do you ever miss the go-karts? Do you get in like the small? I'm sure your car's much different now, but do you ever get out there with your son?
No, I'm too old for go-karts now with no suspension. My back can't handle the go-karts anymore.
Dino, let's talk about, you always provide such great commentary. Jason, talk about him as a driver as you're watching him out there winning titles.
I've watched this guy for years and years, as he said, coming up through the ranks from his days at Evergreen. He went out, as he said, he got out of it for a while. It was great watching him race at places like Borger Speedway when it was a pavement track there. And then he gets into this 600cc, and that's just an amazing little powerful race car. It's the closest thing, or the next step, I should say, to getting to a full sprint car. And these things have a lot of horsepower. It's a great horsepower to weight ratio. They get around quite handily. He has a top wing on his car that also helps him maneuver better through the corners. And the thing with Jay is that he's been at this game for quite a while, the last 4 years, basically 5 years almost, and it wasn't until this year that he finally started getting the wins coming his way. But not for lack of trying at all, because the competition in the 600cc division is absolutely phenomenal throughout the entire region. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, there is just a boatload of talent that's out there. And he races against a lot of heavy hitters himself out there at Greenwood. And, to finally pull off that first win was something. As a matter of fact, he got his first win the same night. His son also was in victory lane that same evening, but very proud to know that he was able to accomplish that championship because, as I said, competition is pretty stiff where he's in with that class.
Jason, talk about the season a little bit. What really worked for you? So much of the car, and you have so much racing experience. How do you start turning that into W's on the track?
It's just hard work. We're at it 4 years, but up until about halfway through the middle of last year, not that we struggled, but we were a top 10 car and a top 5 car. From the middle of last year, the top 5s were a weekly occurrence. And we started this year right out of the hole, firing on all cylinders. A lot of it was a lot of hard work over the winter. New parts, new stuff, new engines, a lot of new stuff on the car helps out. But this year it just started off good, and it kind of progressed all the way through the whole year. And at the end, we ended up reaching our goals on both my son's side and my son on both winning the championship down there.
I've heard that you've been in a lot of different cars. I mean, do you have a favorite, or I mean, are they both just so different? I mean, what do you have the most fun in? Or?
I mean, everything's different that we ran on my side since we've been running dirt primarily solely for the last bunch of years. I mean, you can't hardly beat it because everything's changing. It's never the same. Not week to week. The racetracks change from heat race to feature. Even during the feature, you know, all the cars like I run, we have adjustable shocks and adjustable wings. There's stuff that me as the driver inside the car can adjust on as the race is going on, you know, because the track changes. As they dry out, they slick off, ruts form here and there. I mean, dirt's a whole different ballgame than pavement.
The last question I wanted to ask you was, your son had to take a week off for Little League and that. I mean, who's driving him there? I mean, are you taking a week off as well, or?
No, my wife, she puts up with quite a bit between working in the garage, working on the cars, coming to the races. It's a time-consuming sport. Not only is it every Saturday from the end of March till the end of October, but there's a couple nights during the week and stuff. So she fills in a lot, runs the kids around. So we get to go out in the garage and do what we love to do.
So it's a true family effort there with Harmon Racing. Thank you so much for coming on, Jason Dino, and thank you, as always, look out for his work in the Standard Speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. The annual Election Day Pasta and Meatball Dinner at St. John Bosco Church will be held on Tuesday, November 7th from 4 to 7 p.m. Tickets are $10 per person and $5 for children 10 and under. And that's today's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send our sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Faith A. Chipoleski of Drums. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. at St. John Bosco Roman Catholic Church in Cunningham. Friends may call Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Harmon Funeral Home in Drums. Elizabeth M. Doniger of Bethesda, Maryland. Mass is Saturday at 11 a.m. at Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception Parish at St. Anne's Church in Freeland. Friends may call Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. in the church. The McNulty Funeral Home in Freeland is in charge of the arrangements. Joseph R. Ziak of Hazel Township. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. at the Church of St. Joseph in Hazleton. Friends may call Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. in the church. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home in Hazleton is in charge of the arrangements. Elaine Farley of Hazel Township. Mass is Thursday at 10 a.m. at St. Gabriel's Church in Hazleton. Friends may call Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. and Thursday from 8:45 to 9:45 a.m. at the Boyle Funeral Home in Hazleton. And William J. Bill Smith of Hazleton. The Butler Chapel at the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home will announce the arrangements. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name now on SSPTV News, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Today's winner is Carol Morrison of Monoy City. Call now at 570-455-7267, extension 104 for your free movie.
Thank you to Teresa for my Halloween sweater. Please don't leave candy wrappers all over me tonight. And tonight in California, over here a little bit, it is Game 6 of the World Series. And in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, the Marian Catholic Phillies will go after a District 11 volleyball title. We'll have those highlights and reaction tomorrow for you. Until then, happy Halloween. Take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.